Well, hello, my valued listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Living in Your Power. I'm your host, Dr. Marlene Greenleaf, and as always, I am truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with me today. As we close out our June theme, Freedom to Flourish, growing into what God has planned. We've spent this month reflecting on being planted with purpose, embracing pruning, blooming where we are, and trusting God when growth feels slow. And today, we bring it all together. Today's episode, the fifth and final episode in our June series, is titled Flourishing in Every Season. So let's dive in. When we hear the word flourish, many of us picture success. We picture abundance, we picture achievement, we picture a season where everything is finally working out. But what if flourishing is deeper than that? What if flourishing is not determined by circumstances? What if flourishing is not dependent upon having everything go according to plan? Because if we are honest, life doesn't work that way. No, sir. There will always be seasons of joy and seasons of challenge, seasons of clarity and seasons of uncertainty, seasons of growth and seasons of waiting. Yet God never intended for our peace, our purpose, or our sense of fulfillment to be dependent on perfect conditions. True flourishing begins on the inside, long before it becomes visible to the outside. Now the scripture, Psalms 92, 12 verses 12 through 14 says, "The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing." I love the imagery of this passage. The palm trees bend but they do not break. The cedar grows strong, but it does not bend. It stays strong and is deeply rooted, and those who remain planted, they continue to bear fruit. Now notice what the scripture does not say. It does not say that flourish only when life is easy. It does not say they flourish only when conditions are favorable. It says, in fact, that they flourish because they are planted. Their flourishing is connected to their foundation. And that is a powerful reminder for all of us. As I reflect on this month, I see a beautiful progression. First, we learn that we are planted with purpose. Then we explore the reality of pruning and making room for growth. We learn to bloom where we were instead of positioning our lives while waiting for a future season. And last week, we talked about trusting the process when growth feels slow. Now, every one of these lessons point us towards the same truth, dear listeners. And that is that flourishing is not an event. It is a way of living. It is choosing to remain rooted, choosing to remain faithful, and choosing to trust God in every season. Not because everything is perfect, but because He is perfect. And when we remain connected to the source, growth continues even when we cannot see it. So let's return to that beautiful promise. It says, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. A tree does not wake up one morning and suddenly become strong, dear listeners. No. In fact, its strength develops over time, season by season, root by root, year by year. And the same is true for us. So, as we close this month, I want you again to take a few moments to reflect on these. What has God been growing in me during this season? Where have I seen evidence of growth that I may have overlooked? And what does flourishing mean to me today? How can I remain rooted regardless of the season I'm experiencing? And as always, I'll repeat those prompts for you. For your reflection for this week, I want you to ask these questions. What has God been growing in me during this season? Where have I seen evidence of growth that I may have overlooked? What does flourishing mean to me today? And how can I remain rooted regardless of the season I'm experiencing? I want you to remember that flourishing is not about perfection. It's about connection. So in closing today, dear listeners, as we close out this June series, I want to leave you with this. You do not have to wait for perfect circumstances to flourish. You do not have to wait for every prayer to be answered. You do not have to wait until you feel completely ready. You can flourish right here, right now. Because flourishing is not found in having everything figured out. It is found in remaining rooted in the one who sustains us. I want to thank you for joining me throughout this month's journey on freedom to flourish, growing into what God has planted. I hope these conversations have encouraged you to trust the process, embrace your season, and continue growing into all that God has planted within you. I know it certainly has for me. These words that I say each and every week, they are encouragement for me also, not just for you. So again, I hope these conversations have encouraged you to trust the process, embrace your season, and continue growing into all that God has planted within you. So continue to live boldly in your power today. And if it gets tough, just breathe. You still got the strength to rise. So until next time, when I see you, when you hear me, continue to live in your power. And remember to continue growing into all that God has planted within you.